Hi everyone, it's Ailey, and today I want to share a little bit about myself with you. More specifically, I want to talk about how I am an adult instrument learner. I started learning the hammered dulcimer when I was 24. I had just come back from living abroad in Japan for 2 years, and I was looking for a way to avoid something called reverse culture shock. These days, people are pretty familiar with the term of culture shock. It's when you go to a new place and you're surrounded by so many new things, new food, new language, new culture, etc., that you start feeling overwhelmed. And that overwhelmed feeling turns into things like exhaustion, irritability, and so on and so forth. A term that people aren't as familiar with, though, is reverse culture shock. And that's when you've gotten used to living in that new place and you've gotten used to being surrounded by all those new things. And then suddenly you move back to wherever you came from, where everything is familiar. And suddenly you aren't surrounded by those new things, and it can be a big shock to the system. The symptoms of reverse culture shock are the same as culture shock. You can feel exhaustion, you can feel irritability, you can feel depression, and so on and so forth. Now, I don't know about you, but I really didn't want to experience reverse culture shock when I got back from living abroad in Japan. It's not something that everyone experiences, but I decided that I would rather be safer than sorry. One of the easiest ways to avoid experiencing reverse culture shock is to start learning a new skill. You could learn something like a craft, you could learn something like a new sport, you could join a new club. The idea is that you're putting something new into your life again. I chose to start studying a new instrument, the hammered dulcimer. But let's get back to the adult learning part that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. It seems like there's this unspoken expectation that once you get to an adult level of your life, once you finish whatever level of schooling that you're expected to do, that everything that you do should be perfect. Like, adults don't make mistakes. Is that true? No. Adults totally make mistakes. But there is this expectation that we've learned everything that we need to know, and therefore everything that we do is done correctly. And I think because of this unspoken expectation, a lot of adults shy away from learning new things. They don't want to put themselves in a situation where they might make mistakes. And if they do try something new and they make a mistake, they're a lot less patient with themselves than they would be with a younger learner. Personally, I believe that learning is a lifelong adventure. It's something that you're going to do your whole life. And if you're not learning and experiencing new things, you're kind of missing out. But with that said, I also know that I'm falling into this trap that I've been describing. I know I am less patient with myself when I make mistakes than I should be because I am a little afraid of making mistakes. I kind of do fall into that mindset of, oh, well, I'm an adult now, I'm leading my own life, I should know how to do things, and if I'm not doing it right, I need to get it right as soon as possible. I hate that this is a way that I think because I really do want to keep learning, but I do feel embarrassed when I make mistakes. And this is something that I'm striving to get over because mistakes are just a part of life. And if I want to keep on learning, I am going to make mistakes because I'm trying things for the first time. And if you try something for the first time, you make mistakes. One of the reasons why I chose to learn an instrument as a way to avoid reverse culture shock instead of something like knitting was because instruments are a social activity, and it's something new for me to work on. By playing an instrument, I would definitely have to become more comfortable with me making mistakes, just because I would be making mistakes and they would be mistakes that people would hear if they were in the area. It's just gonna happen, right? When you play an instrument, you make mistakes sometimes. I've been playing the hammered dulcimer now for 4 years, and yes, I am still making mistakes. I do think that I have become more comfortable with the mistakes that I'm making, but I still have a long journey to becoming 100% comfortable with those mistakes. While playing an instrument, one of my biggest fears is bothering people. I want people to enjoy my music like I enjoy it. And when I start worrying about whether or not, for example, a neighbor is annoyed by me playing, it gets harder for me to play. And when I'm worrying about my playing, I do tend to make more mistakes, and it becomes kind of a vicious circle because the more mistakes I make, the more I worry about bothering people, and that ends up making me want to stop playing for the day. But in the 4 years that I've been playing, I have learned a lot and I have improved so much. And with that improvement and all of those skills comes more confidence. I'm finding that I don't make quite as many mistakes as I used to. And when I do make mistakes, it's easier for me to move forward through them. This is because I'm learning and I'm proud of what I've learned so far. I started this YouTube channel because I want to share what I'm proud of, and I want to share my journey of getting even better and gaining even more skills. And along the way, I'm hoping that I might be able to encourage some people who aren't sure if they want to learn something that they're interested in because they're worried about making mistakes. Mistakes are part of life. They happen every day, and it's something that we all have to learn to accept and move on beyond. I'm planning to make vlogs like the one you're watching right now to share my progress and how I'm doing, but I also want to share videos of the songs that I'm feeling most proud about. I've come a long way in the 4 years that I've been learning the dulcimer, but I still have a lot to learn, and I'm excited to share that with you here. So I hope that you will subscribe and follow me on this journey, and that you'll like this video, and that you'll be back to see more as I keep posting here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that the rest of your day is awesome. Bye!